Hello, Mgtows. Hello, men. Recently, I've been asked about the question of party politics and Mgtow. Sometimes Mgtow crosses party lines, and I'll explain why. One of the questions I was asking is about men's labor, how much labor a man should give, and what he should give to society in proportion to the risk he takes while he's being paid, while he's doing the job. More risk, more pay, but in today's society, we don't get more pay as men for more risk to our future. We're on strike. Mgtow is on strike. We are on strike against marriage. We are on strike against risk. Part of risk is managing risk every day at your workplace. If you're asked to pick up boxes and you know that's going to hurt your back, or in the future, it wears down your back a little at a time. For a female, you will simply not do that job because you know you're not going to make no extra money today for your future that you can save. We're getting into questions of why Mgtow crosses party lines on unionism. Unionism is good because it asks these questions about labor. Okay, let's format this argument. When you do a man's job right now in the present, if you're cutting trees, if you're doing any kind of risky work, if that work is above what is asked of another human being, male or female, you're putting your body at risk for the future. Can you go to your boss and do collective bargaining at that point? And collective bargaining is union work. You go and you ask, so you say, this job is going to hurt my body, and in the future, my body will have less time. Men work themselves to death. It's one of the arguments within Mgtow. And collective bargaining is what we are doing. We are on strike. We are on strike against these things which put us at risk, and we are on strike against marriage. There are several things we are on strike against. So I look at party politics at this point. Right-to-work states don't have collective bargaining rights, and it inhibits the male to bargain at that point for his future. He doesn't have no right to collective bargain for his future. That's retirement or early retirement. The Republican Party in general, far right, the conservatives will argue against unionism. The Democrats and the centrist party will argue for unionism, the right for a male to collective bargain for his future. The same way as Mgtow is on strike, a union would go on strike when these subjects are breached. So, all in general, Mgtow supports the right to strike. We strike against marriage. We strike against anti-collective bargaining measures. Mgtow is on strike, so written in so many books, and so written in our philosophy. So we have to cross party lines. It's often said in Mgtow that we've been overtaken by this alt-right, this far right, and we're not really far right. Mgtow is progressive in that sense, where we want bargaining rights, and that's what we're asking for from the government. We're asking for bargaining rights, and they're not complying to our wish to discuss these things. For the last 40 years, they've inhibited our desire or our request to discuss these bargaining rights for men in marriage, divorce, labor, fair labor, and the right to bargain for fair labor. Men do more work at a certain point, but last less time in the workplace because their backs go bad, their knees go bad, and then they're stuck if they didn't save for that, which they can't save for that because they have no right to bargain for that. So it puts them in an awkward position. So when we talk about these two things, we talk about we're on strike against marriage, and we're on strike against the entropy of male bodies and uses of male bodies in society as an object. We're talking about two different party lines here. The Conservative Party, the traditional party, which is the unoriginal party, takes the latter view in history of anti-unionism. The Democratic Party takes the progressive view of pro-unionism, which is pro-Mgtow, pro-men's rights. We can collect a bargain for these things that are going to happen in the future and not dispose of males. So all in all, you have to cross party lines if you're a Republican and agree with Mgtow in the sense that, yes, we need bargaining rights for males, or else you are anti-Mgtow. And anti-Mgtow is feminism. If you're a traditional conservative and you're unoriginal, you would be considered at that point with collective bargaining rights to be on the feminist side. We often say in Mgtow that one of the enemies of men is traditional conservatism. Traditional tradcons, traditional conservatism agrees with feminism and is the simp mentality. So don't be a hypocrite and don't err on that side of traditional conservatism when you're talking about Mgtow. I was asked recently by one of my viewers, why am I a pro-unionist? It's easy why I'm a pro-unionist, because I'm a pro-male, because I'm pro-Mgtow. And it's easy. Sometimes you have to cross party lines. You have to be centrist in these things. You have to use your brain as a Mgtow. If you're erring on the side of traditional conservatism, if you're anti-union, you are anti-Mgtow. And that's all I got to say about that, guys. You guys have a great day.